Hello, team. Welcome to another weekly sales meeting. Appreciate everybody taking the time to join us this week. We got some great content here, great information to share with everybody. So I want to get started off with October. Obviously, we just came off of a great month for the company. We had a record month. Overall lock volume grew by almost 200%. We doubled the number of team members that we had just in August in the last month. And overall, it was, for the most part, a very, very good month just from a quality of loan fulfillment. Not a lot of, last minute closings, not a lot of aggravation. Overall, everybody, kept their composure, did what they needed to do, got loans to the finish line, got our new team members boarded. And at the end of the day, we had a great month. So congratulations. It's a great team win. This isn't just a sales win. This is a team win. And that's what we're going to focus on here. Whenever we celebrate any wins, making sure that we understand that everything and everyone on our team matters and plays a part in us winning as a whole. So, I look at it and I say, how did we actually, have a record month last month? A lot of people are going backwards. A lot of people are going down. Well, we're growing into a shrinking market. We're focused on growing with the right people. So, whether it's the Bali team, whether it's our Houston team, whether it's our team in Northern California, the Matt the Mortgage Guy team, everybody that's come on board in the last 60 days, including our Utah team who's boarding as we speak, has made a big contribution, not just to loan production, which is great, and everybody wants to talk about loan production, but our processes, our company culture, and how we're getting better every day. So it's been a great win. I want everybody to make sure they celebrate these wins. It's great to acknowledge them and make sure that we're focused on the improvement part. But once we get past it, then we get right back to focusing on what's next. And that's what we're going to focus on here. We're going to talk a little bit about our goals. So if you've been in Workplace today, you saw there was a picture posted by Kayla Lopez and Dave Higgins. They're in Michigan this week. They're visiting the Bali team at their office. And they met with the team this morning and talked about SMART goals. And goals are super important to get to where we all want to go. It's something that we're really focused on, making sure that we go into the end of the year and have alignment with our team members, with our branches, with our loan originators. And it's really, really important that we understand the why behind what we're doing and how we're going to get there. So I just want to start with a conversation I had with a loan officer the other day. I was talking about, their goals, and this was a loan officer that's not currently working on our team. It's somebody that was interested in joining. And I was trying to understand, hey, where are you going? Why would you want to join UMortgage? What's your goal? Because at the end of the day, if you're just looking to come here to take your 100 loans from where they are to here, that's not the program we're running. We're focused about growing. We're focusing about achieving goals. So, the response was pretty interesting. They said, I want to do more. I expect to achieve my goals. I expect to, double my business. And, my whole thing is expectations are an interesting thing. And, a lot of people, focus on, the goal at a high level. They like to write it on a whiteboard. They like to put it on their desk and say, hey, I'm going to go double my business. But the truth of the matter is how you get there is the key to achieving your goals. And that's really the difference in the people that actually achieve their goals and the people that don't, is like putting a plan together. So, what are you going to do to make it happen? Are you doing the work? We don't rise to our expectations. I expect to achieve my goals. Great. You're not going to rise to your expectations. That's not the way it works. You rise to your preparation. You rise to the work that you do every single day. We didn't have a record month in October. The work that we did January and February and March, April, May, all year long, the work that our HR team, our recruiting team, our learning and development team, every single one of our teams, our production teams, all the work that we did all year long is what prepared us to have 200% growth in October. If you don't do the work, you're not going to just win. You're not just going to grow. That's not the way it works. So you got to have a plan. But most importantly, you got to do the work. So, today, Dave Higgins is doing a presentation about SMART goals to the Bali team. By the end of the day, I hope, everybody on the team will have identified what their goals are. And the next iteration of this process, we'll be talking about how we design a plan to help every single team member get to their goals. And this is an exercise we're going to be doing with all of our branches. But, Amir sent me a message and said, man, Dave is amazing. He's like, I need to get a Dave on my team. We need a guy like Dave on our team. Thing is, there aren't Dave Higgins growing on trees. He's gone through his 10,000 hours to become an expert and to become great at what he does. And that goes back to doing the work every single day. If you do the work, eventually you rise to that level. You become the best at what you do. And right now, when we talk about the goals for 2022, it's all about understanding, like, don't just put a number on a piece of paper. Don't just say you want to do something. Make sure you have alignment with yourself on the work you're going to do, because the difference, the gap between expectations and the work you're willing to put in, or the work that you put in to meet those expectations, is where entitlement lives and where disappointment lives. And that's important that we don't go to that place, because that's a negative place. We don't expect to win. We're not entitled to anything. We're not entitled to reaching $100 million in a year or $1 billion in a year. Like that, we're not entitled to that. You got to work for it. And if we work for it and we get better every day and we focus on those incremental gains that we've been talking about, then maybe you'll get there. But if you don't put in the work, if you don't focus on making sure that you're making the calls, doing the things that are uncomfortable every day, calling the real estate agent that hasn't taken your call the last 10 times, like doing the things that are uncomfortable, doing the things that nobody else is doing, is how you win. That's how you build your business. And making sure you don't settle for a good week or a good month. That's something I see a lot of people say, like, oh, this weekend I'm going to take off because I had a good week, or this weekend I'm going to take off because I had a good app day. Like, that's not the way it works. Like, you can't. That's disproportionate to like how you should be recognizing a win. Like, have a win, celebrate it with your team, be happy about it, but get focused on getting right back to it. Like, this is how you grow. This is how you do get better, is you enjoy the wins, but you move on and get ready for another one and another one. And that's just the way it works if you want to achieve big goals. So, making sure we stay focused on doing the work is key, critical. I'm going to hand this off to Austin Koenig to talk a little bit about what's going on in the markets. There's a big day today in the markets and this week as well with the Fed meetings.
Everyone, this is Austin from Capital Markets. Hope everyone's having a great week. First things first, I want to talk about things that are latest updates from Capital Markets. One thing that we wanted to bring up to you guys is there's a couple new functionalities that will be rolling out through Arrive. So the systems team, the Capital Markets team, as well as the Arrive development team has been working hard on, additionally giving more capabilities to Arrive. First things first, we want to talk about lock desk. So there'll be a lock desk functionality within Arrive, so you can request a lock, extend a lock. We'll all provide the documentation and videos on how to use it and actually use it on a daily basis. That'll be coming here the next week or two. Also coming next week or two is going to be Doc Magic being implemented into Arrive as well. This will be something that'll be very important for your day-to-day operations, and we'll also try to provide you the best, training on how to use it and give you all the information you need. In any case you have a question, please feel free to reach out to the lock desk at UMortgage Distro, and we'll be able to walk you through that question. Next thing we want to talk about is just in general, we're always prioritizing operational efficiency and lenders that we're working with. So we're constantly looking on partnerships with lenders and just different teams within UMortgage that we're trying to improve operational efficiency as well as pair great pricing with it. So we're constantly working with you guys. If you have any suggestions for us, please let us know. Next thing is top of mind for me on the rates market. So a couple things that will be coming up here on Wednesday, as well as just even throughout the week, and things we want to keep an eye on. So on Wednesday afternoon, we will have a decision by the Federal Reserve about if they're going to raise rates. And we don't expect to see the Federal Reserve to raise rates here, but actually this meeting will be very useful to get more clarity on the Fed's plans for tapering bond purchases and what that'll look like here in the future. So actually about raising rates, I think a lot of people within Wall Street are actually pricing a rate hike starting in June 2022. So actually, as of last Friday, there's an 87% chance that there will be a rate hike on June 2022. There's actually a pricing of basically 2 rate hikes already priced into the rates market, but you can let your borrowers know, look, Wall Street's pricing in 2 rate hikes for next year. There's not much time left before the Fed raises rates. This is definitely something that could change with the way the Fed meetings go in the near future about what they're going to do with tapering, but that's what the issue is as of right now. Next thing we want to talk about is just jumbo pricing in the market in general. Jumbos are being a very competitive product, and portfolio lenders are really trying to add jumbo loans to their balance sheets. What that means is correspondent lending is definitely having less competitive pricing compared to some of the portfolio lenders in jumbo market. I know I've seen LOs have a lot of competition in this, as well as just in general, even on the investors, like the Wall Street traders who are buying jumbo loans from the correspondent channel. there's a lot more competition to get those, hands on those loans from portfolio lenders. And I think the whole market's feeling it. So if you have any questions about the jumbo market, anything I mentioned today, please feel free to reach out. Other than that, have a great week. It was great talking to you.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Matt Gouge, Matt the Mortgage Guy out in California. A couple things I want to talk about today. First and foremost, you have to have a process. Everyone's process is different, and different brokers are going to handle clients in a different fashion. No matter what your process is, have a clearly defined process. This is for you. This is for your team. This is for your realtor partners. This is for your clients. No matter what you do, try to be consistent in how you deal with each and every client, how you serve people at a high level. Know that process front to back. So good that you're able to explain it to clients. You're able to explain it to realtor and other referral partners. You set the expectations, then you deliver on those expectations. As an example, you might tell somebody, when you're getting pre-approved with us, we're going to do an intro call. We're going to talk about your needs, your goals, what you're looking to do. Then after that, we're going to get an application and docs from you. Once we have that application and docs, within 24 to 48 hours, we'll have you fully pre-approved. We'll send you a video detailing your options, what kind of options you have. We'll jump on another call. We'll kind of put together a game plan, a strategy for you. We're going to connect your realtor to our system so they can pull pre-approval letters at any given price, at any time of day, so you can submit offers. Something to that effect, right? And by knowing that, and by knowing that really clear, you're able to position yourself as the expert. You're in control. You're able to help somebody. People want to work with folks who have their stuff together, who have processes, right? So put together a process. Like I said, yours doesn't have to be this process. Yours can be any process that you've developed over the years, but know it and know it so clearly you're able to communicate it. All right. So second point I want to make is about getting bogged down in one deal, especially new loan officers. I see this, and through conversations I have with different loan officers at different stages, I see this time and time again. When you break down your day and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, loan officers are getting bogged down with one or two clients. And yes, we want to serve people at a high level, but we also want to serve a lot of people. If you're given the same client a new scenario every single day, if you're talking to them about things every single day and going back and forth 15, 20 minutes a day, you can't serve a lot of people. And it's truly a numbers game on how many people you can serve. If you talk to 10, 15, 20 new people every single week, X number of them take an application, X number of them get pre-approved, X number of them get in the contract, and X number of them turn into closed deals. If you don't have the conversations up front, you cannot get more closed deals, right? And so rather than have another conversation with the same client and say, yeah, pricing changes every day. So today it's a $700 cost for 3.125. Yesterday it was $900 cost. Tomorrow you talk to them and it's down to a $342 cost. This stuff doesn't matter, right? You explain to them pricing moves every day. When you've found a property, you get a property locked into contract, we'll look at pricing, we'll decide, the best thing to do for you in your specific scenario, whether we want to go down to 3%, whether we want to maybe take it up to 3.25% and take a credit, whatever the case may be, right? Just don't let yourself get bogged down with one deal. And that can be a pre-approval. That can be an in-process deal. If you've got an in-process deal that's dragging you down and taking a bunch of your time, either you've got support staff that can deal with that, you can go out there and originate more loans, or you put it in the hands of somebody who can oversee that, check in once a day, whatever the case may be, escalate it with AIM, whatever you have to do. Don't let yourself get bogged down in just one deal. We want to serve a lot of people. We want to do it at a high level. You can't do that when you're bogged down with just one or two deals. Hope you guys go out there and crush it and have a great day. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Matt. Hi, everyone. I'm Corie Meredith, Marketing Team Leader, and today I'm going to talk about growing your online business. It's a question I've been getting a lot lately. Where do I get started? How do I get more followers? What should I be posting? Now, all of those are pretty loaded questions, but I'm going to give you some tips and advice on how you can get started. First things first, if you haven't looked at the November marketing calendar yet, please do so. That calendar is designed for you, the loan originator, to speak to your audience, the home buyer. So audience is super important wherever you're posting online. If you're posting on Instagram, be very much simplistic in the way that you describe things. Look at your audience as the average home buyer who doesn't know a lot about the home buying process. Speak to them in ways that they'll understand it. Keep a third grade level in mind when you're talking to people, because that's the best way that they'll understand what you're trying to tell them. If you're trying to post on LinkedIn, you can be a little bit more in the weeds with the way you describe things. You're talking to your other loan originators or industry experts. So you can say things like locked loans or rate term or rate sheet, whatever that looks like. You can be more in the weeds there. So definitely keep your audience in mind when you're just talking to them in general. When you're thinking about growing your audience, think of things that you can do platform specifically. So for example, if you're on Instagram, utilize hashtags. You can use up to 30 hashtags on each individual post. Now, I would suggest doing a little bit of hashtag research and seeing which ones have really high volume, medium volume, and low volume, and using a combination of all of those within your post. So you can hashtag things like brokers are better, loan originators, home buyer, home purchase, real estate in California, Michigan real estate, anything like that. I would just type it in your browser, see what the volume looks like, and add it to a list that you can reference later on to make your life a little easier when you're posting in the future. Now, again, utilize all of those different volumes because that gives you a better advantage of showing up on the Discover page when people are looking for those specific hashtags or hashtags that are relevant to the content that they look at. You can also follow along with those hashtags so that now you're engaging with the people who are posting in the same realm as you. Engaging with others will help to grow your audience. It gets your name out there. It allows them to see what you're posting. It gets them interested in your content, and they might even give you a follow. Also, if you're thinking about Instagram, definitely utilize stories and reels. One big update with stories is that you're now able to link in your story. This feature used to only be available for people who had 10,000 followers, but now it's available for everyone. So all you have to do is go to your sticker tab and you can click the link feature and paste your link right in there, and people can click on whatever CTA you're looking to drive to. So if you're looking to drive to your YouTube channel or maybe your Facebook page or your referral link, your 1003, whatever it looks like, you can paste it right in your story and share it with your audience. Reels are a huge opportunity, specifically because Instagram is trying to go after TikTok, for lack of a better way of explaining it. It's their competitive edge on what TikTok is doing. So to utilize Reels, it's really important that you are being fun with it, you're being engaging, but it's also a great way to expand your reach. If you do have an Instagram business page, then you're able to see what the reach of each of your posts are. So if you look at a video post on your profile versus a reel on your profile, you're going to notice that that reach is very, very different. The reach on the reel is going to be very much higher than the reach on your average video because Instagram algorithm really likes reels at the moment. And they're a key feature in the Discover tab, as well as they have their own tab now. So definitely think about those key features and what you can do on each specific platform to enhance your reach. Next thing I want to say is that when it comes to content, okay, where do I get started with content? Outside of the November marketing calendar, think of content in two ways. One way is the 80-20 rule. You want to be 80% value and 20% promotion. When it comes to value, you want to offer this value for free. Be educational, be that expert, give the advice, do all of the things, and don't ask for really anything in return. The 20% is the promotion part where you can ask for things in return. You know, sign up here or come attend our grand opening or whatever it may be. If you start doing the flip side of things, people are going to tune you out before they even engage with you in the first place. So you want to make sure that you're doing 80% value, 20% promotion. It's super important. The next is content categories. The way I like to think of content that kind of works on social media is in 4 ways, specifically for you. 1 is educational. 2 is accolades or celebrations if you get a promotion or if you win an award or anything like that. 3 would be engaging, anything that can kind of be relatable to your audience or you ask for some questions or feedback in return. And then the last one is personal. At the end of the day, social media is meant to be social. So just be you. Share pictures of you and your team, you and your family, your state as the seasons change, whatever it looks like. Be relatable. People really like that. I did mention YouTube for a second there, and I want to dive into that as well too, because this is another common question that I've been getting. Should I create a YouTube channel? The answer is yes. Social media is free. Why not just utilize it? So with YouTube specifically, YouTube is actually not a social media outlet. It's a search engine. So kind of like Google, it's the second highest search engine right below Google. And what that really means is that SEO is super important on Google. So, or on YouTube, excuse me, Google too. But if you want to utilize YouTube to its fullest capacity, you're going to want to utilize resources like TubeBuddy, which is a free resource that can help you with some keyword research, or SEMrush if you're really getting in the weeds of things. That can also help you with keywords. But you want to be able to have your content be searchable. So what that means is utilize terms and keywords that people will search that's relevant to your content. I have some best practices, so hit me up after this. I don't want to be too long-winded, and I'll share them with you. Next thing I want to talk about is referrals. I have to shout out our business development team for 450 referrals year to date this year, and we're just getting started. Woohoo! Our business development team is working so hard to make sure that our referral process is airtight. And with that, when a lead comes in and it's a referral lead, they are sourcing UMortgage loan originators who are licensed and local to take care of these leads. So as our process continues to evolve, we'll keep you guys informed. And if you have any suggestions on how we can make it better, please do so. That's all I have for today. I'm going to hand it over to Ray Carpenter.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me. My name is Ray. I'm a business analyst on the technology team, and I am humbled and honored to speak to you guys this morning on the weekly sales meeting. On behalf of the entire team, which includes Jimmy, Daniel, DeAndre, Dave, Austin, Nick, and myself, along with our fearless leader, Mike, we are very excited to work alongside you and arm you with some of the best technology in the business. We are constantly improving our tech stack, whether that includes Salesforce, our LOS, our POS, our databases, our internal reporting, everything to better serve you and give you better insights on your entire business. Please, if you haven't yet, introduce yourself to us. I hope that you have spoken to at least one person on the technology team so far. We are a pretty easygoing and pretty approachable type of guys. And we are here to serve you for any need that you have, whether it's a report or a little more insights to your business or whatever you need. Which brings me to my next point, IT@umortgage.com. That is definitely the most efficient and best way to reach us. I don't want any requests that we receive from you guys via work chat or email to slip through the cracks and us not be able to attentively approach them. I know that we recently just celebrated 500 IT requests resolved. I don't want to spoil it, but I will say that there is going to be a very special surprise for whomever submits our 1000th IT request. So this is definitely the best way to reach us. It's an email box that goes to the entire team, and the subject matter expert will get back to you at their earliest convenience. And you can approach this with anything you want, a reporting request, you forgot your password, email credential issues, arrive, anything that you think of, we will get to it and we will assist you through it. And that's all I really wanted to share today. Thanks for having me on the meeting, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.
Thank you, Ray. Definitely a big shout out to the technology team. They've been working their butts off all year long to help primarily the biggest thing has been making sure they're supporting the business and all the different things that we're trying to do across the business, whether it's reporting, building out our CRM, bringing our data from different systems into one easy to access, visible place for different departments to measure success. They've done an amazing job. And last week they closed out their 500th support ticket of the year, which was an incredible achievement. And we're really proud of those guys. So thank you, technology team. You guys are crushing it for the entire team across the country. So I want to talk about a couple things here before we wrap up. The 95% rule, this is something I live by. It's something I believe in. And it's understanding that a lot of people are reactionary. I find usually when somebody's bubbling something up to me, it's, they think it's a big issue. And most of the time it is a big issue. It's something that we got to get better at. But understanding is the situation that we're talking about a 5% issue, meaning we deal with it maybe 5% or less of the time. There's a nuance with a specific investor that we don't like. This is an issue that fell through the cracks that only happens 1 out of 20 times. Like identifying the things that we need to fix but we don't need to get worked up about. And understanding the 95%, the things are the things that we're focused on. We want to make sure we're great at 95% of what we're doing. We want to make sure our process is amazing. We want to make sure that we are great at what we're doing and what our team members are doing every single day. We want to make sure our loan officers have what they need to be great every day. The things that come up that are 1 out of 20, like, hey, we want to do non-QM, great. But is that 95% of the loans we're going to be doing, or is that within that 5%? And understanding, like, we got to be great at what we do every day, 95% of the time. So that's what we think about. That's what we focus on. And this all ties into the relationships, not transactions, core value, which is understanding that, like, we need to make sure that the way that we respond to things, is focused on solutions. When people are coming to me and they're explaining something and they're coming from a place of conflict, or they're coming from a place of aggravation, or they're coming from an emotional place, I'm sitting there saying, hey, listen, let's take it down a notch. I know we're going to get it resolved. I know we're going to get the consumer in the home. I know something might have fell through the cracks. Appraisal didn't get done the way it was supposed to get done. Whatever the situation is, let's talk about it. Let's make sure we're on the same page and we understand how we got here. Let's not focus on whose responsibility or what happened that led to this. Let's just get it solved. And then let's not be emotional. So, making sure we have that mindset is super important. I've talked about it before. How we treat every single person that is part of our team is key critical. So our team here, headquarters, our support team, our loan production team, like, making sure we're treating them with the same level of respect and support that we would expect to be treated in return. So, underwriter makes a mistake at one of our investors. Okay, I get it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk to they're our partners. Let's bring them in. Let's have a conversation. Let's focus on fixing that problem and making sure it doesn't continue into the future. But we're not going to react. We're not going to say, they don't know what they're doing or act adversely. Like, we got to focus on making sure that we're beyond reproach. We want to be the most aware, not the most right. Okay. So it's not about winning the argument. It's making sure that we understand, like, if these people are part of your team, or if these are relationships that you're nurturing, that you want to be, continue on to be successful in the future, you can't be reactionary. So, keeping that top of mind is super important. That's where the 95% rule comes into mind. It's like, let's not be reactionary. One thing goes wrong. Hey, they missed the VOA on this deal. Okay, great. Fire drill. Let's fix it. No problem. Let's not get emotional. We're going to fix it every single time. That's the way we react. Somebody emails me, you're going to hear back from me in 2 seconds. You text me and say it's urgent, you're going to hear back from me in 2 seconds. Our technology team, all of our teams here understand when something goes wrong, it's all about fixing it fast. Escalation management is everything, but making sure we take the emotion out of it and we communicate when we need help is more important than the urgency of being right or making sure you point out who did it wrong. It's all about winning together as a team. So last thing I want to focus on for the week, we talk about all the time. We're either getting better or we're getting worse, and this is a mindset that you're going to keep hearing from me. It's repetitive. You could tune me out, but like, if you're a part of our team, if you're a loan originator that came to UMortgage to be part of this organization, you made a choice, and the choice was, I want to get better and I want to be part of something bigger and better. That's the program we're running. That's the way we think about everything every single day. Get better every day. It's not something that's just a saying on the wall. It's an obsession. It's why we talk all the time. We have meetings talking about the most granular details with our business. Just since Monday, I can tell you that there's been a series of changes made through our loan process that's improved communication, sped up how fast loans move from application to loan approval. We implemented a new production performance goal this week. The pre-underwriters, when submitting a loan, they have an incentive now where it's like, hey, loan gets submitted and comes out, no income condition, no assets, no asset conditions, and an early CD, you get a bonus. Loan doesn't have to close, you get the bonus. That's it. Because why? What's the why behind it? It's incentivize quality, incentivize the outcomes that you want. Incentivizing somebody that's pre-underwriting a file based upon it closing, yeah, that's great. But like, at the end of the day, there's no incentive to make it great up front and the part of the process that they control. So making sure we're doing it great at every step of the way is what we're focused on. So we're either getting better or we're getting worse. And the change is something that I see the resistance to change every single day. Every single time I have a conversation with somebody and I insinuate, hey, I think this is an area we got to get better at. I think this is something that we need to think about. I see people automatically push back, pull back because change is uncomfortable. what you're doing, what you're comfortable with is not going to get you to where you want to go. It's not going to get us to where we want to go. It's all about getting better every day. And we're not going to accept being mediocre. We're not going to accept negativity. We're not going to accept somebody being on their own program while we're running this program. Like, no, that's not going to work. We're either on one team, we're running together as one team, focused on winning together and fulfilling our goal of getting better every single day. So we're either getting better or we're getting worse. We're not going to get worse. That's not what we're doing here. So that might mean some people decide to leave. It's already happened. People have come and they can't handle the, this pace that we focus on and this idea that we do have to get better every day. Most people just want to slow down, chill. I'm good. I don't need to get better every day. Well, that's great. You can do that somewhere else. Here, we're going to get better every day, and the intensity of it is never going to go away. So it's all about understanding this is about becoming the best version of ourselves, not just the company becoming the best version of itself. Each person pushing themselves so they can achieve their goals. So have a great day. Appreciate everybody joining us today for the weekly sales meeting.